Greetings fam, if you're looking for an affordable everyday laptop for studying, office work, browsing, and general productivity, this new KAIGERR 15.6-inch laptop is definitely worth checking out. With an Intel Twin Lake N150 processor, 16GB of RAM, 512GB NVMe SSD, and a full HD display, it offers a practical combination of memory and storage for everyday tasks. So click the link in bio and let's find out whether this KAIGERR laptop is actually worth buying. The first thing that stands out is the Intel N150 processor. This is an entry-level processor designed more for everyday computing than demanding professional or gaming workloads. That makes it suitable for tasks like web browsing, watching videos, writing documents, attending online classes, managing emails, and working with common productivity applications. For a student or business user, those are usually the types of tasks that matter most. The 16GB of RAM is one of the stronger specifications here. Having 16GB gives you more breathing room when you're multitasking with multiple browser tabs, documents, video calls, and background applications. Compared with an entry-level laptop with only 8GB of memory, 16GB can make the system feel more comfortable when you're doing several things at once. The 512GB NVMe SSD is another major advantage. An SSD provides much faster storage performance than a traditional mechanical hard drive, which can help with boot times, application loading, and general responsiveness. And 512GB gives you a reasonable amount of space for documents, coursework, photos, videos, applications, and other files. For a student, that can be particularly useful because you don't have to immediately rely on external storage for every assignment and project. The 15.6-inch Full HD display also gives you a good-sized workspace. A 15.6-inch screen is large enough for comfortable document editing, spreadsheets, research, and watching videos while still being reasonably portable. The Full HD resolution should also provide sharper text and images than lower-resolution displays. For long study or office sessions, screen size can make a noticeable difference. The laptop also includes HDMI and USB 3.2 connectivity, giving you options for connecting external displays, storage devices, accessories, and other peripherals. That's useful if you want to turn the laptop into a more traditional workstation at home. The advertised long battery life is another appealing feature for students and people who move around frequently. A laptop that can last through several classes or work sessions without constantly searching for an outlet can be much more convenient. However, actual battery life will depend heavily on brightness, applications, video playback, wireless usage, and workload. The biggest limitation is the processor. The N150 isn't designed to compete with higher-end Core or Ryzen processors. You shouldn't expect it to be ideal for demanding video editing, serious 3D work, intensive programming workloads, modern AAA gaming, or other CPU-heavy tasks. It's much better suited to everyday productivity. That's why the combination of 16GB RAM and 512GB SSD is particularly useful here. The laptop's strengths are focused on making ordinary student and office tasks practical rather than turning it into a high-performance workstation. The Windows 11 operating system also gives you access to a familiar desktop environment for productivity, schoolwork, browsing, and everyday applications. After looking at this KAIGERR laptop, its biggest strengths are the 16GB RAM, 512GB NVMe SSD, 15.6-inch Full HD display, HDMI and USB 3.2 ports, Windows 11, and student/business-oriented design. So, is it worth buying? Yes, if you primarily need an affordable laptop for school, office work, browsing, streaming, documents, video calls, and everyday multitasking. The 16GB of RAM and 512GB SSD are especially nice specifications at this level. Before buying, I'd check the exact N150 configuration, battery capacity, display brightness, webcam quality, keyboard layout, upgrade options, weight, warranty, and included software. If you need a simple everyday Windows laptop rather than a gaming or professional workstation, the KAIGERR could be a practical budget-friendly option. Click the link below for the best price.